My wife was 9 months pregnant when the bleeding began. It wasn't one of those harmless scares people talk about from movies or stories. This was different, sharp, sudden, terrifying. I can still see the way she gripped my hand, her knuckles turning white, eyes wide with fear. The drive to the hospital felt endless, each red light stretching time itself, mocking our urgency. My thoughts were racing, but I forced my voice to stay calm, telling her again and again that everything would be okay, that we were in good hands. I couldn't let my fear show, not when hers was already overwhelming. The emergency room smelled of antiseptic and panic. Nurses moved with quick precision. Doctors spoke in clipped, focused tones. Through it all, my attention never left her. I held her trembling hand as we were rushed inside. She whispered my name, voice shaking, and I leaned in, steady and certain. "You're strong," I told her. "We'll get through this." Then the doctor appeared, a serious man, clipboard in hand, eyes sharp and unreadable. He didn't soften the truth. "We need to move quickly," he said. "This isn't routine. There's a risk to both mother and baby." For a second, the world stopped. My mind lagged behind the words, my heart pounding but steady. I gave a single nod. Panic wouldn't help her, or me. I had to be the anchor, the one who didn't break. Even when everything around us seemed to be collapsing, they moved fast, wheeling her toward the operating room. I stayed behind, hands clasped, breath shallow but controlled. I could hear the rhythmic beeps of machines, muffled voices of the medical team, and her quiet gasps as they prepared her. Every passing second stretched painfully long, but I held on to one thought. This was temporary. We were strong. We'd come out of this together. Time blurred. Minutes felt like hours. My mind replayed all the quiet moments we'd shared during her pregnancy, her hand resting on my chest as we listened to our baby's heartbeat, her laughter over late-night cravings, the whispered dreams for the future. And now, everything depended on this. The precision of strangers and the strength of the two people I loved most in the world. When the doctor finally returned, his expression gave nothing away. Clipboard tucked under his arm, he said simply, "Both mother and child are stable." Relief crashed over me so hard it nearly buckled my knees. I nodded, afraid that if I spoke, my voice would break. They wheeled her past me into recovery, pale, drained, but alive. And the baby, our baby, was safe. I caught her gaze and gave her hand a firm, reassuring squeeze. No words. None were needed. The danger had passed, and the stillness that followed felt almost unreal. Yet beneath that calm, I could feel the weight of what had just happened. The invisible marks left behind by fear. Scars that lived deep inside the chest. I stayed beside her, silent, watching our newborn sleep peacefully in the bassinet. In that quiet, I understood how fragile life truly is. One decision, one heartbeat, one moment. That's all it takes to change everything. As the adrenaline slowly faded, reality began to settle. I watched her sleep, her hand resting softly on my arm, and thought about how little control we really have. No matter how much we plan, some moments are completely out of our hands. And yet, in those moments, who we choose to be, calm, focused, steady, that's what defines us. When she finally woke, exhausted but smiling faintly, I kept my voice low and steady. "You're okay," I said. "Everything's okay." She tried to laugh, tears glimmering in her eyes. I nodded again. Words weren't necessary. The silence between us carried everything. Relief, gratitude, love. We had faced the worst, and we had survived. Holding our baby for the first time, I realized that life's most powerful moments often arrive without warning. They demand stillness, clarity, presence. Panic changes nothing. Fear fixes nothing. Only calm, steady focus gets you through. That night, I never left her side, alternating between holding our child and sitting quietly beside her bed. There were no grand declarations or revelations, just a quiet knowing that we were together. And that was enough. In those hushed hours, I understood what it truly means to be present, to hold steady in the storm, to be the calm when everything else is chaos. Life doesn't always offer second chances. Sometimes it asks for everything you have right now, And in that hospital room, with both of them safe and breathing, I knew I had given exactly what was needed. That was enough.